Welcome back to Red Hawk Media's Virtual Academy, day 23. And I'm out of the office today. I'm actually recording for some Honors Night awards. And so you're getting this video pre-recorded, scheduled for its regular time here. Today we're going to take a look at a few things. And starting off right away with the content, I want to jump over to Digital Media 2. And we're going to take a look at some of the materials there. So let me send this over. Hey, on Digital Media 2, one of the things that we've been working on, obviously, is our game. The game manager has been the most recent thing that we've been working on, and setting up level 1, moving into level 2. And there are a few questions that have come up regarding that as people get further and further into that process, and that's one of the things that I wanted to cover here. So as we take a look, let me put this up. Here is my level 1, and I've got everything set up. And one of the common errors that we've got going on right now is this error about the switch script. And the switch script has got an audio manager on it. And that is a leftover from some of the previous lessons that we had. We didn't cover the audio manager in the same order as we did in previous years. So it's causing a problem now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and we're going to delete 3 lines of code, and that's going to help us move past this. So you may be seeing this kind of an error at the bottom here. Well, let me get out of there. Where it says something about the audio manager could not be found. It's on your switch script. And just a reminder here, when you're looking at these errors and you see them in your console, you can use them to kind of troubleshoot what's going on. When I see that it's my assets scripts switch script.cs, that's my switch script, and I know that line 7 is one of the offending lines here. And then I know that there's something called the audio manager in there that's causing the problem. And we can use that to kind of like figure out a lot of this stuff. So here's my error as it shows up in my console tab. Again, the console tab usually shows up next to the project tab. If it doesn't, go to window, go to console, add it on there. You can also add on tabs from the far right corner here, or you can click on this and then you can add a tab and then you can choose what you're going to add in there. So there's a couple different ways you can bring that up. I usually leave mine right down here for these kind of situations. So all I'm going to do is double click on this error, and it's going to open up my editor of choice and take me into the code. And now, very specifically, any references to the audio manager is what we want to get rid of. And again, we're deleting 3 lines of code here that we want to get completely rid of. So I'm going to go in here, and as we can see, and as the script or the console told us, line 7 is one of those problems. So I'm going to take all of line 7, which is a reference to the audio manager, and get rid of that. Okay, I'm going to go down to line 22, and I'm going to get rid of that. Then I'm going to go down to line 33, and I'm going to get rid of that. All right, 3 different lines I've deleted out of here in their entirety. I'm just going to go ahead and Command S, and then I'm going to head back over to Unity here, and that should hopefully clear up that error. Now, give it a moment to update, and then that error goes away, just like that. So we're all set. That should allow you to add on, first off, the new scene script, and secondly, finish up with that door script on the exit door. And then that should be all set up. Okay? Excellent. Now, on the exit door, just to kind of to clarify some issues here, people yesterday duplicated their scene, and they want to move into that second level. So if we take a look at this, just to reiterate what we covered yesterday, when I go into the assets here, and I go to my scenes folder, so again, I'm in my scenes folder, wherever you have your scenes saved. We established yesterday that the name of my level that I've been working on is 2D Tutorials. And if you don't remember where to look for that, at the very top of your window here, the very top of the whole Unity window, let me zoom out so we can see that. When I go up to the top, and I mouse all the way up here, I can see the name of the actual scene, 2D Tutorials, and then it says that up there. It might actually say the name of your scene.unity. That's another way that you can identify your level name. Okay, so we talked about yesterday duplicating that, and I just selected it, and I hit Command D to duplicate, and then I renamed that level Level 2. And that's what I want to go to here. So when all is said and done, we have the exit door prefab, which you can see the exit door is all the way over here on the other side of my level. And when we look over to the inspector here, we can see that it's got the door script on it. I have to get that door lock item and drag it on here. Otherwise, what's going to happen is anybody playing your game is going to be able to get to that door right away, hit tab, and go into that next scene. So I'm going to grab the door lock, which is on the actual exit door. Okay, so just to be clear, the exit door prefab, I'm going to go into that. Okay, and oh, it would appear that I don't have the door lock on there. That's okay. We're going to go ahead, we're going to create the door lock on there. I'm just going to create an empty. I didn't do this prior to recording here. So let's go create empty, and I'm going to call this my door lock. Okay, and then on that door lock, I'm going to put the actual collider on there. Yep. And so I'm going to go over, add a component, and I'm going to go box collider 2D. Boom. And then I'm going to edit that collider so that it completely and totally covers that door. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. All set. Excellent. There's my door lock. Now, I think that should be pretty much it. Go back to the exit door. And we're going to grab that door lock item, and we're going to drag it right in there. And there we go. That should update that. All right, so if we did all this correctly, we now have access to our new scene script, which is also on the exit door. And it's asking me what level to load. And this RoboKid 2 is from a previous game build that I did when I created this prefab. We're going to go ahead and exactly the same way that we duplicated our level, we're going to put that name in there. So I'm going to go level 2. And again, I'm getting that name from over here, looking at my scenes. So here's my scene. It is case sensitive, so make sure you get it exactly the same way. So I got level 2, no space, level 2, all set. All right, so now if I do this properly here, I should be able to hop in and then maneuver through. Now, one last thing that you're going to have to do, of course, we've got all our switches added in there. We've got our switch counter and all that. There's one last thing that will allow this to actually move from this scene to the next scene, and that's my build settings. So when I go up to File in Unity, and I go to Build Settings, I want to make sure in this window that pops up that all of the scenes that I'm going to access are actually in there. So you can see I've got my start menu in there. I've got the 2D tutorials, which was my level 1. Okay, and then I'm going to add in level 2 in there as well. So I'm just going to grab level 2, drag it right in there. And this is got to be in the exact order that they would be in if you were playing the game. So the start menu should be first, then you get your 2D tutorials, and then you've got your level 2. And then they should move through smoothly from one to the other. Okay? And then after that, you are ready to test this all out here, play through your game, get all of your switches, and then get to that last door and hit tab, and that should take you to level 2. Okay, and that brings us pretty much up to speed. It fixes the audio manager error, gets your doors all working, gets that new scene script all working, and then you're all set. Okay, and again, if you have any questions with that process, make sure that you reach out to me, Google Meets, 11 to noon, and then I'll be able to work with you on that. Okay, that being said, we're going to move on. That was Digital Media 2, and we're going to hop on out of here. And I'm going to move over to the other classes and minimize that, and that takes us over to web design. Now, in web design, the big thing that we talked about yesterday is the Red Hawk Media site is deliverable, which means that at this point, you should be completely and totally done with the Red Hawk Media site. And you should, step 1, schedule a meeting with me. And step 2, be able to walk me through the entirety of that site. And then 3, you're going to follow up with an email that delivers all of the content. And yesterday, if you want to go back to yesterday's live stream, I went through the process of actually taking your root folder, uploading it to Google Drive, getting that shared link, and then sharing it directly with me. And you can copy that link, you can add me to the shared link, however you want to do that, but I should have access to the entirety of that root folder. And I talked about how to get to that from Dreamweaver, and if you've been coding your site in Atom, how to get to it from there as well. Okay, so the big thing is just reach out to me and schedule that Google Meet so that we can go through that final process and wrap this up and get moving on to our next site. You have all the week from Monday through Friday to do that. So that's up to you. All right, that takes us to game design. And in game design here, just checking my notes real quick here. Yeah, the big thing in game design is basically that game reflection. That's due on Wednesday. And that means that your game should be built out. You should have shared the link with me to your game. If you need steps on that for uploading it to Google Drive, make sure that you refer back to the link that's in the Schoology assignment. That'll take you right back to that moment where you would be uploading everything to Google Drive, getting the shareable link, and then you would share that directly with me. At this point, I have a handful of the games that are completely done that I've built out, and they are looking really good. I mean, they look really great. Now you have the actual reflection that's in Schoology as well as an assignment. Hop on there, finish that up, give that some time and thought before we jump into the process of making our 3D games. Okay? And then video production. Now, in video production, we talked about new skills yesterday. Any new skills, any new information, anything that you've been working on or acquiring in the last few months that we have not seen each other here, that would be what you're creating your video related to the assignment that's in Schoology. It can be a how-to video, it could be a tutorial, it could be a walkthrough, but the big thing is that you're sharing that information with your audience in the form of a video. One of my all-time favorites, and anybody that knows me probably knows this is my all-time favorite YouTuber, and that would be this. Let me hop over here. Great example. If you want to just take a look at some people that are, as they put it, always dropping some knowledge nuggets on you here. On YouTube, go ahead and take a look at Film Riot. And they have been on here since the beginning of YouTube, it seems like. And they are incredible. And I would give them a huge shout out to take a look at their content. They do tutorials, they do how-tos, they do information. They've got all kinds of different videos here. And then, of course, all of their short films as well. But they do a great job of delivering information to the viewer in a way that's really, really accessible. So I gave yesterday the example of Riley. And I talked about Riley maybe sharing some of those Photoshop skills that he used to put together the baseball posters and things that he may have picked up from there. Tips and tricks kind of video, that would work really well for that kind of situation. But take a look through here. These guys are masters of delivering information in a very funny way. If only I could do everything that they do in a school setting without losing my job. But that being said, take a look at that as an example to help you out on your way here. I'm going to hop out of there. You did not see any of that. I just realized that. Let me pop over here really quick and put that up again for you. And that's my bad. Put that up to full screen here. And this is what I'm talking about. Film Riot, YouTube, check it out. All right. Wow. And we're going to get out of here. And we're going to hop back. And that brings us up to the last and final class, which is Digital Media 1. And in Digital Media 1, big thing is that the first step for you was to download the video, the trailer that you're going to be using. Now, I want to make a clarification here because I did have some questions with this. You are not trying to get the audio of the trailer. You are trying to get the video. Now, MP3s are for audio, and MP4s are for video. All right, and that's just a small little differentiation between the two. But when you're working with audio, it's always MP3, and then the video is MP4. Okay, and those are just different codecs, which are like different packages that those files are put into. And MP3 is one of the most accessible worldwide, well-known packages that audio can be put in these days. So And MP4 is a very popular one as well. What you're looking for, just to clarify all that in case this isn't clear, when you are going to download, let me hop over here and not forget this time. I'm going to hop over, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick search for, and let me put it up to full screen so it's not super annoying here, and we'll zoom in just a little bit. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm just doing a search for YouTube to MP4. Okay, and bring that up. And any one of these that you can get to work from home will be fine. But the main thing is you're looking to convert a YouTube video to MP4, which is the video. And then we're going to take that video and move it into GarageBand. Okay, so once I locate my trailer, I'm going to use one of these, and this is one that I know that is fairly reputable here. Some of these are not so reputable, so just a heads up here. Some of the content that'll pop up, I am not responsible for. So we're going to take that link, paste it in here, make sure that we convert it to an MP4, get the highest resolution that we can, which will probably be 720p. If you can get 1080p, go for it. 720 or 1080, those are perfectly fine. The focus is not on the video so much, like the video quality. We're working on putting in our own audio there, and that'll get you up to the steps that we need to do here for getting the video. If you download the video and you know to meet that minute 30 to 2 minute mark, somewhere in that range, if you need to add in, cut out, whatever you need to do, take it into iMovie, edit it there, export it, and then you'll be able to use that video in GarageBand and drag it directly in there. And we went through that process yesterday, so refer back to how to drag that video in here. The second step to all this, not to add any confusion, but I've been talking about the MP4, which is the video. And one of the first steps that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find some new music to put with your trailer. We're not going to use the same song. We're not going to use the same audio. We're getting rid of all that, and you're going to grab new music. So at the same time here, I'm going to head back over to YouTube, and I'm going to find the perfect song that I think would fit with this trailer. And again, get creative, remake the trailer, come up with a different way, a different direction. If it's an older trailer, you can modernize it with some newer music, however you want to go about doing that. But the second step is going to be find some music and download the MP3. And then you're going to take that into GarageBand as well. So we'll have video, we'll have an MP3 with your new music choice that you're going to work with, and those will be like the next steps. Tomorrow, we'll talk about sound effects, we'll talk about Foley, we'll talk about all those different things that you need to add into the background to make it a good video, or to make it a good trailer. Okay, music alone isn't going to do it. All right, so excellent. That gets us pretty much up to speed, covers everything with all of the classes. I'm going to hop right out of here and do the regular little sign off here, even though this is pre-recorded. And just a quick reminder to everybody as we are wrapping up all of this. Longer range goals here for the week, which gives you more time to work on the assignment. It's not moving along nearly as quickly. And I realized that we had to slow things down a little bit to keep it manageable, and that's fine. But all those assignments are on Schoology. Make sure you take a look there. Keep updated with everything. If you have any questions, hop on to Google Meet. I'm on there from 11 to noon. Now, today, as you're seeing this on Tuesday, I will not be on Google Meet simply because I will be recording videos for the Honors Night Awards recognition video that we're putting together. Since I'm going to be there, I won't be available on the Google Meet. I'll put on a little reminder on the Google Meet link just in case you hop on there and you're like, oh, Mr. Hall has abandoned me. I'll put that on there just reminding you that I will be back the following day on Wednesday here from that 11 to noon time. Otherwise, if you're having some major issues, something is really broken in a big way, make sure that you email me and we'll set up some time to meet, talk, and get through all that stuff. I've had a number of people that now are realizing that, oh, I should have reached out to Mr. Hall a long time ago, and now we're kind of playing catch up. But that's fine. All the deadlines are open here. Make sure that you are just taking care of business to get those things in. All right? Excellent. The main thing is here, stay healthy. And that's another another episode of Red Hawk Media's Virtual Academy. This was day, 23 here, and we are wrapping it up. I'm going to bring it to a close right about now. There.